I'm back. Yippee. Imagine, if you will, the fake epic rap battles of history with Mr. Beast, and he does the claw hands. That's me, and there's a big red circle around me, and I'm going rah. That's what it's like when I click the whatever, the screen transition. But you know what? I was gonna say I come back and I'm still in the same bullshit, which is technically true, but it's not entirely true. Because obviously we're in a different location. Are we doing the same activity? Yes. Well, yes. But it's in a different location, okay? Okay. And you know the cool thing is that we're actually I'm going to get a shiny on stream. That I want for once. How have I found all of them off stream? Oh, wait. It's because I've only found 2 of the things that I wanted because Eevee took like 2 months. But I did a little bit of hunting while I was out, as you can see. I got like we're at 3K. So let's just say I did 3K encounters. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful because I can go, wow, we're gonna hit half odds tonight. That's so yippee yahoo. And it's not been like 30 hours. It's so exciting. It's so fun. It's also so fucking hot in this goddamn room. It's so fun because it was too cold and I'm worried, oh, it's too cold for me to plant my plants. And you know what it is now? It's too hot for me. I can't go outside because I'm going to get heat stroke. And you may say, just drink water, you silly goose. And yes. No, you're right. There is no follow-up. Oh my god. Pissing me off. Sorry, OBS, I don't know why, but like there's this thing on the top of my OBS chat, and it has like some information, and usually it doesn't scroll through them all, but now it does, and I don't want it to scroll through them. Fine, I'll drink water. I'll even do it for free because you asked so nicely. I took a little sippy. Just a little, though. You know what? I've watered my plants more than I've watered me. Not really how you would call that, but whatever. Because, believe it or not, if you're a plant and you're in the 90-degree heat, you dry out really, really easily. So when we come back and we saw that this thing was, like, totally dried and decrepit, I'm like, ah, oh, fuck. But at the same time, not my fault. I couldn't babysit it for 4 days, and now I can babysit it, so it's fine. Everything else seems to be doing okay, though, which is good, because I was a little worried about my little cosmos. But they haven't dried, they haven't all gotten trampled on, a couple of them died, a couple of them were my fault. But they seem to be doing okay. But it's like, I really... God bless the people who are out doing hard labor when it's super duper hot outside. You should get paid more. I'm not getting paid, so I don't want to do it. I'll make myself sick. Also, we're starting to get into the point where it's really humid as well. I feel like we don't have dry heat at all. It's always fucking humid. And you know what that means? That means that there's bugs everywhere. Which would be fine if they didn't love bouncing directly into my face, swarming all around my head. Please stop. You can go anywhere else. I just need you to not hit into me. And nothing I've tried works, so I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just leave then. And the lantern flies are starting to hatch, and I see them all absolutely crowding the grapevines, and it's... Ugh. Every single year, I forget how much I hate summer. I hate summer so much. And I forget. I'm like, oh, it's been cold for so long. Oh, I can't wait for it to be warmer or whatever. And then it gets too warm. And it's fucking miserable. If you like the season of summer, you're lying. You're holding on to a childhood ideal of, oh, summer is when I don't have to go to school. You don't actually like summer. You like not going to school. That's my conspiracy theory. Although, I have no idea how it works in the southern hemisphere. Do they I would perhaps wrongfully assume that you would still get summer off, but summer is just like in December. Because why the fuck would it be the same month year round? I don't know. Ugh. So anyway, yeah, that's the long and the short of it. Because I am upstairs, the hot air is up here, so it's like I'm suffocating. It's like I'm in a sauna. Because it's so fucking humid. And see, the stupid banner on my OBS keeps changing, so my eyes keep going more. I keep looking at it because it changes, and I think that I need to read something. Nope. Bitches cannot be reading. But you know what bitches can be doing? They be drawing. Rare spawn, I actually been drawing. Me complaining, oh, what was me? I gotta have a bunch of ref sheets ready by July, and not to say that I made any, because I definitely didn't. But I did a little tiny bit of stuff today. And every single time I design a character, I'm like, all right, let's start just like with hair. Let's start with your head. Cut off your head. We'll sculpt it out. And every single time I forget how much I fucking hate it. But you know, thank me, past me, for the foresight of looking up a bunch of random characters that I thought would be interesting and just compiling all of them. And being like, all right, this is who we're stealing from. There's not a ton of rhyme or reason for it, just vibes. It's fine. You can change it later. We need to get something. So that led me down looking at all the Cookie Run characters that had come out since I stopped playing a couple years ago at that point, which feels really weird. It feels like such a short and such a long time ago simultaneously. But then I look at all the characters that have been released, and it's like, what do you mean they added Elphaba and Glinda? Were they any good? Or wait, or were they... Okay, were they playable, or were they like the Disney cookies? Which, by the way, fuck that event. In which they were just there visibly, but you couldn't play them, which was so dumb. But I understand that they probably didn't want to code in like 30 different playables at the same time. Not that it didn't stop them when they added all of the BTS guys, but they all had the same kit. And it wasn't funny, ha, it was funny, ew, pay to win. Because they were really, really good. And so, of course, if you had a lot of money to spend, you could max one of them out. But more likely than not, you couldn't, which sucked, because they were really strong. It was also funny because they couldn't take damage, and I wonder if that was a stipulation in like the collab, like you can't have these real men that you're turning into cookies get hurt. It's a little silly. They then eventually added a free-to-play one that was just kind of time-gated, but like, whatever. What freaking ever. Anyway, the point is, I look at the character designs and I'm like, wow, so many of these are like really cute. And I almost, it's like the devil whispering in my ear, like, huh, I wonder what it would be like if I If I reinstalled the game, and then it's like, no, 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 no. I feel like I would remember pretty quick why I uninstalled it, but the characters are so cute. I could just look at them from afar. And then I hear a whisper in the back of my head, oh, but what if they buffed Caramel Arrow and she's meta now? You know she's not gonna be meta. It's gonna be some stupid nonsense. Like, I don't play a lot of games with collabs. Do not reinstall. I'm not gonna reinstall it. You have my word for that. I'm not going to. It's just, that game is not fun. I would log in to, like, claim my EXP and to do my arena. The only part that I liked about it was the arena because I thought that the team building was kind of interesting. Because usually at one time there were, like, a couple of decent teams, and you would build whichever one you had, like, better toppings on, or better ascended characters. But when I quit, there was one meta team, and it was infuriating because the cookie that it's centered around, creme brulee, was so strong that everyone was using him, and there wasn't really any counterplay except for having a better creme brulee, which is a little difficult if you're oh so humble free to play like me and you waste all your gems on arena refreshes. And because I wanted to get to Grandmaster, which is the highest tier. Well, there's 3 Grandmaster tiers, but it's like a chunk of tiers. Whatever. It's like top 1% or top 0.5% or something. I had to use a lot of gems. That's the TLDR. And it was so fucking annoying because all the teams were the same. And you just had to pray that you had better toppings. And I burnt myself out. And I had wanting to quit for a while. Also didn't help that my guild that I formed, nobody was participating other than me. I carried the guild. And, it's already annoying having, like, RNG equipment in gacha games. Most infuriating thing in the world. They added more, and they were more RNG. Because there were already the toppings, which were... you had to re-roll for good substats. Already a pain in the ass. They added things that were, like, type-specific. Like, you could only use this one on a range cookie, or you can only use this one on a healer cookie. So if you got one and it had great substats on the wrong main set, you just couldn't fucking use it. And I'm like, okay, so you're saying I have all of these built characters, and now none of them are built. None of them are built because the people who are able to invest a lot of money into this fuck-ass gacha game can equip their characters with this new stuff, and I can't. Man, fuck this game. Hey, the title says it's shiny hunting this time. I can't use it as an excuse this time. Don't worry. I thought of you. Specifically when I named it. Also, hi. More trash into the RNG pool. That's why I stopped playing Chaos Zero Nightmare. Is this just a common thing in gacha games these days? RNG equipment? I despise it. It's so bad. You may say, haha, you play Genshin. They have that. Yes. And I never said I wasn't a hypocrite. Don't worry, I hate artifacts. I will be so mad about artifacts. Every single day I see my Tichnari be slightly lower on the leaderboards because I just can't get fucking crit damage rolls in my goddamn artifacts. Nobody cares but me. Nobody cares but me, but I care. Are you asking if RNG is normal in gacha games? I'm not asking. I'm asking if RNG equipment, like, where you have to farm pieces to equip a character to give better stats. Because the alternative to that is not having that. Or you have, like, gacha weapons. Or you don't have to pull for weapons at all, you just pull for the unit. I'm thinking about something like Brave Frontier where you just needed the unit. Actually, you had, like, orbs, I think. You could make those. But it wasn't RNG equipment. I'm talking things you gotta gamble for substats. Some kind of RNG is always a thing. Gotta keep people playing at some point, but it gets annoying at some point. Okay, but the RNG is the gambling for the characters. That's what the RNG is. I was gonna say, an example of not RNG equipment would be like Honkai Impact 3rd, but that's not technically true. But it is mostly true. Because you would roll for the character, and you would roll for the character's weapons and equipables. But on top of that, you could roll the equipables to have like little stat bonuses. And the stat bonuses were RNG, but generally they weren't significant enough to drastically change how a character performed. It was more important to have the equipable than to get a good substat on it. Thankfully, Limbus doesn't have too much. Oh, yeah! No, I mean, I wouldn't say it has any. Mirror Dungeon doesn't really count. The only RNG it would have in like a high level thing. Oh yeah, by the way, what team to use for Ricardo? I've not done that yet. Is just hoping you get the right skill on your dashboard. But they don't have equipment. Farming for equipment is super normal. Getting it as loot has been in the industry since forever. FF1 even used it. Farming for a different stat change has also been a thing for a while. Terraria is the first to come to mind. They didn't invent it. Terraria. I miss Terraria. RNG is a bitch. RNG. Fuck you, RNG. It's just when you add layers upon layers upon layers to it. And the most important thing that makes it extra sour, extra disgusting is when it's in a PvP game. Because then, of course, you have people directly competing with each other, which puts people... I mean, it's going to be this way in a gacha regardless. It'll put the people who are willing to invest more money at a... They have a significant advantage. Which, like, yeah, duh. But it still sucks. Terraria, my beloved, who needs Minecraft. See, I've been saying this. But also, I've not played Terraria in years. But that's okay. It's one of those things where I get like super duper duper into it for like a week every couple of years, like Stardew Valley. I need them both actually. I'm sorry to hear that. Could I and then they kiss? Oh my god, Toxic Yuri. Could I introduce you to a casino? No, don't go to the casino. That's worse. Okay, but what if you got, like, really good at counting cards, and then they kick you out? It's so dumb that they can kick you out of the casino for counting. Ooh, sorry I'm observant. Not that this has happened to me. But it's stupid that it can happen. Gambling, don't gamble. Gambling is bad. I say as I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for my gambling game to update. so I can gamble away 110 pull for fun. Ooh, hypocrite. Me. Casinos are so generous. If they're so generous, then why don't they just hand me the money? Why don't they send it to me in the mail? If they're so generous, huh? You've convinced me I'm going to the casino right now. I only have the money to pay rent on me, but I'm going to win more, so it doesn't really matter. I fear that you're not going to be able to pay your rent. I don't think that's such a good idea. But really, isn't this a gambling stream? We're gambling on if the pixel is a different color. Low stakes gambling. I'm not spending my life savings. I'm spending my life savings. No, I can't even think about it. I was gonna say laser to blow up the sun. No. I just need like a giant hamster ball. That's cold. You're only spending your lifetime? Exactly. But I'm like, well, if I was gonna be doing this regardless, it's fine. You can't win if you don't play. Okay, but hear me out. In that same breath, I could say, okay, well, you also can't lose if you don't play. And you know what I don't like doing? I don't like losing. Could I win big? Yes. But dare I say, I don't think the odds are in my favor. You know, need I bring back the 99% of gamblers quit before they win big, the guy in the diamond mine? You can lose if you don't play. Okay, in other scenarios, but I can't lose at slots if I don't spin the slots. I can't lose at blackjack if I'm not at the table. And I would definitely lose because I don't know the rules. You need to pay things to live. You're passively losing. Oh my god, we're all losers. This freaking sucks. Actually, I'm winning because I came up with a design for my OC earlier. Checkmate, atheists. And wait, now that I'm out of soft reset hell, we can gradually see the hours on my file creeping up and up and up. I need you to know that when you see that 135-hour figure, my total playtime is maybe double that. Just on Eevee. Hee. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Dare I say, I'm glad to be able to phase again, because then it might go faster. Also, I think I wanted to look up something about... I don't know where I heard it. It was just like... I don't know, it was folding clothes or whatever. Something about anti-botting measures, because this is the Switch version. Are there anti-bot things in this game that would potentially... wait, what was I saying? That would potentially get me RNG clones if I soft reset. If a Christian baby says you need to stop gambling, would you do it or would you throw the baby away? Stop. Those things are so funny. Like, why do I care if the baby's Christian? Also, why the fuck are you talking to me? Help! Why is the baby talking? Christian baby is so funny. Okay. But if the Christian baby was like 27 and offered you, I don't know, baby asked, hey, you want a drink or something? 27-year-old baby, yes or no? I'm selling the baby to gamble more? All right, correct answer. I mean, I would definitely throw the baby away, except I wouldn't just throw the baby away. I'd dribble the baby down the court, dunk it in the trash can. Sorry, baby. If the Christian baby was 27, then I would become Christian because that's a miracle. Maybe they're just really skilled. Maybe the baby is God. That's why it's telling you to stop gambling. Whoa. I mean, Tomodachi Life character just dropped. A horse walks into the bar. The bartender asks, why the long face? And the horse just looks around. It starts chewing on the drapes. Did you hear me? Why the long? Because you have a... Okay, yeah. No, I'm gonna need you to stop chewing on those, all right? Oh no, it's on the other one. Help! What's more gambling? Selling a baby to gamble for a few hours or keeping the baby as a gamble in the future that it will make you a millionaire? Well, if we're going by that logic, then it would have to be keeping it. You know, I can't imagine that... Well, you know what? I'm not going to say that. And you know what? It's probably an even lower chance that it'll make... The kid will make you a millionaire. And even if the kid is a millionaire, you're gambling once again on if they'll share it with you. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender asks, "Why the long face?" The horse says, "The view from halfway down." Oh, fuck. I've never finished that show because it was soul-crushingly sad. If my experiences with cows means anything, horses would be fairly easy to ward off the drapes. I see. Horses listen to instructions. Noted. I memorized the whole poem. I think that says something about you, but I don't know the context for it, so I can't define it. I think it says that you memorized the whole poem, but, you know... Who's to say? I watched most of it, though, I want to say. But it was also... I don't remember. Maybe in, like, 2019? Dark time anytime when you watch BoJack's... Need to put you know how you tap trees to get the sap out of them? Need to do that, but for the writers. Have their brain juice ooze out onto my little petri dish, and I need to put it under a microscope. What were they thinking? Not in a bad way, just what were they thinking? And then I think about that show randomly, and I'm like, oh, you tap trees to get the zap out? The sap with an S. Like a maple tree? What kind of trees? Nah, what kind of zap? Oh, like zap apples, like My Little Pony. You don't know? They turn rainbow or some shit. Now, how the fuck did I remember that? That's something I've not watched in even longer. Maybe because the idea of gay apples is just so enamoring. I lost my giant yarn needle. Help. I don't think My Little Pony was about torturing trees with electricity. I mean, that was one of the episodes. I actually don't remember what it was, but something happens and the apples turn rainbow, and it's like, whoa. Oh my goodness. Rainbow. Ah yes, trees that zap. We can burn them down to generate steam to turn a turbine. Holy freaking moly. And then the steam engine was born. You know what? I need to check myself. I need to see these gay-ass apples. Actually, I think her name is Applejack. Alright. AI viewers? Ew, yucky. Is that what they're advertising these days? Wow. Equestripedia? Hold up. Description. Zap apples are a magical type of apple that are native to the everfree forest and have a very specific growing cycle. They are shaped like regular apples but are rainbow in color. They bloom from flowers on zap apple trees, and when unripe they are gray in color and hard to pick. What is the growing cycle? Timberwolves start howling. Heavy gusts of wind and thunderclouds appear. Gray clouds and windy skies. Shooting stars. What the fuck do these apples do, bro? Okay, the electric currents pass through the trees and the apples ripen. So they do get electrocuted. We have discovered a new way to generate electricity. We should use it to boil water. Whoa. It'd be super nifty if we could use some resource that's, like, not good for people. But if you had it contained, it could boil water real good. When we finally make contact with aliens, they'll introduce it to us. Boiling water to generate steam. Water's like kind of important, y'all. That's so crazy. Everyone should drink some and then boil it and see what happens. You'll generate electricity. Don't drink boiling water. After uniting all nations, we are finally able to hold the power of the sun to boil water. We are the water. I don't want to get boiled. I'm but a frog in a pot. Ooh, but the pot is so toasty and warm. Maybe this is okay. Okay, I actually will drink water, though. And everyone else should as well. It's starting to get hot out. I am sick and tired. The pod can be boiled. Yes, anything can be boiled if you put your silly little heart to it. Oh yeah, I'm sick and tired of it being 90 degrees Fahrenheit already. It's been one day. Just kidding. It was 100. Ugh. Wait, I should... Hold. Okay, now my fan is facing me. My dinky little fan. Don't drink boiled water. Instructions unclear. Drinking boiling metal now. All right, yeah, see that we're getting somewhere. Don't you know you need iron? Iron's good for your blood. Your blood's gonna be super healthy. Something that's been tormenting me forever is a book that I must have read when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything of it other than I want to say that they were going into space, and it was a family of 3, I want to say. There was a father and 2 kids. There was an older brother and a little sister, and the little sister was complaining, "Oh, I don't want to have to take my iron pills. Eating metal is so yucky." And then the older brother is like, "I don't think that's what that is, actually." And I'm like, "Hold on. That's exactly what that is. You are eating metal. Eat that metal right now." Iron deficiency? Nah, iron supremacy. I was gonna tell a lie. I'm iron deficient. You know what? I'm not anymore. Maybe that's why I can stand up in the morning and not feel like I'm going to collapse on the ground. So that's kind of nice. Having anemia sucks. Especially when your body's like, you're anemic? Let's lose even more blood. What do you mean? I need that. Help! But no. Drink boiling iron. I heard somewhere that it's good for your blood. Yeah, it is. And you can probably get a pretty cool cast of the inside of your intestinal tract. That would be pretty cool. I was gonna say, how long are your intestines? But then, assuming you were able to drink enough boiling iron to form a cast of your entire intestinal tract, including like your esophagus and stuff, how long is that? You wouldn't even be able to stretch it out because it's... I'm assuming you're drinking enough molten iron to form a solid tube. You're drinking a lot. This is some Buddhist health advice. I don't think it is, actually. You know what? I don't... Like, long? Oh my god. That's crazy. I don't know that much about Buddhism. I don't think they do that. I mean, whoa, this is my chance to shill Land of the Lustrous. That is a lot of references to Buddhism that flew over my head because I'm not a knower. It's still so funny to me. That manga went on hiatus for like 5 years. Probably not 5 years, but for years, because the author got a PS5 and she was just playing games and like I respect it. They kind of do. I mean, I thought that they did some weird things, but I don't I can't say I've heard of actively killing you health advice. Buddhist hell in plural are wild. Oh. Okay, I'm thinking of something different then maybe. I don't know what you're talking about. If you want to take that advice, I can't stop you. But maybe don't. Definitely worth a read. It's a book? I gotta read? Me? Man, I can't even... I need to retrain my voice so I can do that. That was one of the weirdest things to get used to. Not feeling like my voice got any lower last time I was on T for like 6 months, but not being able to access an upper register. It's just like my vocal range closed. It got narrower. That's so lame. Although, on that note, I need my legs to stop getting mysterious bruises, because if my legs keep being bruised, I can't do my injections, because, you know, dare I say, sticking a needle in a bruise is bad. So, Buddhist mythology has their own version of the levels of hell, and each one is a couple million years with unbelievable torture, and after that you go to nirvana. Oh. I see. See, I was aware of the... Maybe there are different iterations, like cycles of reincarnation with the ultimate goal of reaching nirvana, but I wasn't aware that they invented the torture nexus. Interesting, okay. So you're saying if I'm in the hell where they make me drink the molten iron, it's like I'm slowly being drip fed enough to make a full casing of my intestinal tract, except they do it like one drop at a time. See, after a while, that just sounds boring. I don't like them very much, so I don't think it's worth it, but gotta hand it to them. Smells Like Teen Spirit is a pretty good song. Whoa. I mean, if you're such not a fan of Nirvana, name 3 songs. I couldn't name 3 songs. I just know the guy. Is it Kurt Cobain? That's one of the punishments? Yes. Did I invent one, or is that actually a thing? Look, we don't gotta keep talking about torture, okay? We can talk about, I don't know, frolicking in the fields and then getting swarmed by a bunch of bugs because it's 100 degrees out and it's humid as fuck. Help. It'll be worth it. Something in the Way, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Man Who Sold the World. See, and I'm like, wow, I don't know 2 of those songs. I'm sure if I saw a list of greatest hits, I'd know a couple of them. I'm not a knower. The joke there is that The Man Who Sold the World wasn't one of their songs, but a cover. Is it an instance where it's a cover of a song, but the cover is more popular than the original? And this leads into, this leads into me hating the shuffle on this playlist because it sucks! It leads into me thinking about Shrek. Because I was thinking about the Shrek soundtrack. I see. It's an interesting phenomenon, but it's kind of sad. But at the same time, that cover of... Why don't I know the name? Holding Out for a Hero fucks so severely. I have to respect it. The original singer said he liked the cover more, I heard. You know what? I can respect that. You saw my vision better than I saw my vision. You know what? Sometimes it happens. I can't confirm the quote. Why not? Just ask them. I mean, I'll believe anything that's said to me uncritically. I'll also hit 3,900 encounters! Yippee! Look how zooming I am through these encounters. Also, notice how I've, like, looked at none of them. My ass is not paying attention. You're right, I will go to the Buddhist hell so I can get to Nirvana and ask them. I was gonna say, I don't think you need to do that. I think you could just go to hell, but that feels mean. I'm sure that at least one of them has a gravestone. You can just, like, knock on it. Knock, knock. And then their voice will descend from the heavens or from beneath the earth, and they'll go, "What?" And you can ask them. You can say, "Oh, sorry for disturbing you. I have, like, it's not important, really. You know, you can ignore me, but I have a question." Also, is that what I said? My plan is to go to hell? Well, yes. But Buddhist... There's a lot of different hells. You can pick your favorite. You can pick a hell where there's a staircase. And you can just leave. It could be like Percy Jackson, where you can just leave and then you're in Hollywood. Well, Hollywood is hell. Wait, that's kind of funny. Then why the hell is Olympus in the Empire State Building? That's also hell. I hate tall buildings. I should reread those books. If for no other reason than just to know. Out of hell, going to heaven? One could say. Who knows? Maybe some singers have had divine intervention and they're like, "Oh, fuck! I need everyone needs to know this. Everyone needs to know." And people are just like, "Wow, nice song. Yay." No, you don't get the message. And nobody ever gets the message. Doesn't ring a bell. Good. I think Albert Einstein may have said that or something. Who's a famous person? Who's a famous dead person? I can only think of... I think Karl Marx said that. I can only think of alive people. I could only think of Ryan Reynolds because I was gaslighting myself into thinking that his name was... Wait, no, I did it... Is it Ryan Gosling? Is his name Ryan? They're the same person to me, I fear. Okay, it is Ryan. Imagine being named Ryan. Imagine having your knees hurt from sitting cross-legged too long. Couldn't be me. Oh yeah, wait. I need to reshuffle the playlist because it hates me. Song change incoming. Yippee! Also, you can't really use the staircase. It's on the other side of the sticks, and unless you are a demigod with the help of their mother, you can't pass the river. And Karante doesn't help the humans. Not familiar with that spelling of that. Okay, but what if I just tanked it? What if I just did a really big jump? What if I was just playing a silly little game of Frogger and I was jumping across the debris on top of the river Styx, and I'm like, wait, fuck, My sense of balance is so bad, and I'm like waving my arms, and I'm like a cartoon, and I make a big sploosh. It's over for me. What was I doing here? Where am I? Well, I guess I live here now. They're throwing me in the pits of hell for being bad at Frogger. I should load up Hades too. But I'll be honest, I have no want to, actually. My only want to is so that I can be immune to spoilers. Ryan Gosling's wife. He has a wife? Eva Mendes. I see. Percy was able to use the staircase because he found the secret entrance and Orpheus was expected by Hades. So he helped him to get there. Fuck ass Orpheus. Orpheus, me when I'm checking into my shift at the pissing me off factory, Orpheus is my shift manager. Sorry. Orpheus is a cool character. And the myth is interesting, but at the same time, pissing me off. Just because you're so close to the finish, you are that guy who almost did the touchdown or whatever, and he celebrated, but you weren't there, you silly goose. You didn't make the touchdown. You just need to go a little bit further, and then you can second guess yourself. And I know that's the point, but it's upsetting me nonetheless. I don't know. I would simply not be concerned. If her ass is there, or Eurydice, if she's not there, she's not there. Not much I could do about it at this point. That's kind of the story he could never get out. Yeah, well, if he tried a little harder, he could have. He was almost there. I guess the lesson of the story is don't go to hell to fetch your wife. You're not going to be able to do it. If you could not be concerned that you wouldn't go to Hades and get her. Okay, but I would have... That is true. I wouldn't have the concern to do that. But if I were Orpheus, I would simply not do the things that he did. And then in which case, I would not be named Orpheus because I am not Orpheus. This is so moon made out of cheese. This is so if I were Shinji, I would pilot the Ava. Okay, dumbass. Me when there's a thing called storytelling and characters have to have motivations and also flaws. That's the whole point. He didn't fail. The test was designed to torture him by asking the impossible. I feel... That's why I said I thought I did at least. Like, yeah, that's the point. He was probably only given that task because... and Hades is down, sitting on his throne or whatever the hell, eating some pomegranates, giggling to himself. I know that man is not going to be able to do that. He is not going to be able to do that, and I'm going to laugh when he's back here. You laugh, you go to hell, and I'm laughing. The impossible isn't going to hell to get back. He's a demigod. That's a walk. The impossible was to stop loving her. You can love people and still be like, okay, I'm literally almost out of hell. I just need to take a couple more steps. We're almost there. But if we were being practical, we circle back to the beginning. You wouldn't be doing that in the first place. You wouldn't be going to fetch your dead wife from the underworld in the first place. You'd be able to say, that's probably not going to work. This is a fool's errand. I've not talked too much over the past few days, and getting back into it. Oh. I wonder when I'll start hiccuping uncontrollably. What the fuck? Wait, and this is when I go, wait, Orpheus is a demigod? I forgot. There's so much slightly differing lore. It's difficult to remember it all. But that's okay. And this is when I get antsy. I wanna check if Genshin is updated, and I have no idea why. There's no reason for me to do that. I'm not getting the character that's coming out. I just want to see that it's ready. Ugh. Oh shit, I gotta charge my phone. Depending on the way the myth goes, Eurydice was about to fall the stairs and he turns back to save her. Others say he was being followed by voices, probably the Erinyes, to convince him she wasn't there. Okay, yeah. I'll be completely honest. I was envisioning the musical Hadestown. And I think what happens in that is, first of all, the second guessing, because... Yeah, you know what? I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It wasn't a falling down the stairs thing. It was just a second guessing. Is that really her voice? Is she actually behind me? I need to see to make sure. Didn't listen to it, not gonna lie. Fair enough. I like musicals, so me listen to musical. I want to, but I never get the time, and when I have the time, I forget it exists. No, literally, same. But then I get the inspiration, and I'm just like, bam, binge. All right. I love musicals, but I also just like plays. And I wish it was less expensive. Oh. The last play I think I saw was in like 2022 when a mall close to me was closing. It was literally the last day. It was because it was after a job interview that I went to, and I was like, oh, the mall's closing. Let me like walk around because I want to see. And I saw a poster for it, and I'm like, I gotta. And there was the thing last year, or was it 2 years ago? I'll be honest, I don't remember. Epic? Was that the Odyssey? I feel like it was. People were Odysseus posting. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, is it any good though? I've never seen a play live. If you have the opportunity to, you should. I was convinced because I was convinced, and by convinced I mean dragged and forced to join theater in high school. And I'm like, okay, wait, this is actually kind of fun. It is? Okay, fine. I'll think about listening to it. I kind of forgot it was a musical. I just knew that people drew the characters. And I'm like, okay, this has to be from something. I love getting into things super late. It is that good and more. It doesn't matter how good you think it is that good and more. Okay, good, because I like to try and go into things with a neutral mind, because I get scared that if I go into something being like, ooh, I'm excited for it, I'll be let down. And then there are not many more disappointing feelings than thinking you'll like something and it's just kind of mid. It makes it feel worse than mid. It makes it feel bad. So I think that it is a musical. And I have no further thoughts on that other than I know some of the broad strokes of what happens in the Odyssey. This is when I look it up on my phone and I get 10 billion fucking emails. Stop emailing me. How many song is it? Help. Sorry, what? Why am I getting recommended this? Markiplier makes sense. Who's Pink Panthers? Why Vivziepop? Oh yeah. Epic rap battles of history. Alright, ads. Ads suck. Oh my god. Help. Huh? 40? That's so long. What the hell? It's 3 hours long! That's so long. Oh no. Stop. I just want to see. 128 million views on this playlist. I see. Why do like every 4 or 5 songs the art changes? At the bottom I see a playlist and it has the AO3 logo as it, so is that indicative of anything? I didn't even look at that Pidgey. My theater class, in my theater class, I didn't want to act, so being the genius I was, I said to my teacher that I want to be a playwriter, so I spent like 2 years having to write plays for the rest of the class. I got old by the second month and acting looked super fun by that point, but I needed to keep the lie to pass. Also 3 minutes of ads. I am sorry. Look, it's either you get 3 minutes of ads in a chunk or you get a minute and a half of ads every half hour. And personally... Oh yeah. Actually, forget you need to read it. Just read it again when I'm back. Writing a play seems fun. It seems super hard, though. But also because in my brain, I'm like... I'm so bad at stage blocking. I can't listen to you, but I'm gonna guess you agreed to that. Oh my god, me when I read. Ugh. I hate advertisements. Why have I started saying advertisements, by the way? Send them to the ad dimension. No, don't send them to the ad dimension. No one deserves to be... Oh my god! Every single day, my hatred, my loathing for Adobe rises. And it's because the things that they advertise that you can do with Adobe Acrobat are stupid. They're stupid. Oh, delete pages 6 through 10. You can just delete pages 6 through 10. It's not that hard. Oh, replace all instances of 60 with 70. Have you heard of Control H? Is it Control H or is it Control F? Control H. You can just do that. You don't need AI to do it for you. Lies, my ads just ended. Okay, so first of all, right, after 2 months it got boring. That sucks. Second of all, I'm so sorry about ads. It's either you get 3 minutes of ads per hour or an hour and a half every 30 minutes, and I prefer the big chunk, so... Do you want me to read them out loud? I can. Anyway, why couldn't you... Why couldn't you say... Actually, I'm not interested in this anymore. can I do what everyone else is doing? I only say that because I'm just like, all right, I hate everything that we're doing in class, but I'll tank it. Yes, please. Okay. In my theater class, I didn't want to act, so being the genius that I was, I said to my teacher that I wanted to be a playwriter, so I spent like 2 years having to write plays for the rest of the class, and it got old by the second month, and acting looked super fun by that point, but I needed to keep the lie to pass. Message 2. Oh my fucking god, 3 minutes of ads. Don't respond to that message yet. Actually forget you read it and read it again when I'm back. I can't listen to you, but I'm gonna guess you agree to that. Hi, Bianca. Hamlet. Oh, fuck. Exit Hamlet. Okay, but that's like what happens, isn't it? Parentheses, has never read Hamlet. I don't know. I think someone dies or whatever, and there's a C-section. That's what matters, right? So we couldn't do that technically. We all needed to act, but I did a big point of wanting to write plays, so we had to fight against the school rules for me. Oh, you really didn't want to, I see. Yeah. 2 years, though, is interesting. Just because same class for 2 years. Ugh. Closest I've had to that is... Because we had classes in, like, periods, like, time chunks. A class that went through 2 periods. And it was, like, an hour and a half every day, and it sucked. But it was fine, because the teacher was super cool and slay, and we all loved her. But then she worked for the county. Which is like, yay. She's probably going to do a great job, but also, boo. We want you to teach us. It was high school, so I had the same class for 5 years. Wow. I see. Yeah, ours did not work like that. I don't know how US classes work. Yeah, we took, we took different classes every year, but some of them are like, they're not the same, but they're the same subject. Because, like, every year you would have an English class. You would have an math class, but it would be, like, a different level of math. Or different types of readings. I guess gym is technically the same, but I'm not sure that counts. Is that high school or in university? That was in high school for me. And we had like... I'm trying to remember how our high school did it. Because we had a weird schedule. We had like 7 total classes through the year. But on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, some of the classes would go longer and you would have 4. Like 3 or 4. And I don't remember why they did that. That sounds like university, not like high school. I mean, in university, I took less classes. I had like 5 total classes per semester. Yeah, and then each class was like 45 minutes in high school. It was a lot. It kind of sucked. Yeah, my high school did like example 1 was American literature, year 2 British literature. Okay, we didn't do that. It was just like called English, I think. I don't remember. That shit was a long time ago. But it would be like, oh, this year we're gonna read The Scarlet Letter. Boo! This year we're gonna read, what did we read? What did we read in 12th grade? I don't know. I didn't read them. I didn't read them because they were boring. My high school had 45-minute classes, but everyone hated it, so they restructured it to be hour-long classes. Yeah, that's what our thing was on Wednesday. We had, like, some hour-and-a-half classes, but only on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and some of them weren't, because it was always the middle classes, I think. But I would need to ask one of my friends if what happened. It was so weird. And that's why every day for that 1 year in 11th, I think, so I would have been like 15 or 16. We had bio for an hour and a half every day. I should have been in uni since 2023, but I never actually finished high school and I haven't done pending classes yet, so I can't get into university yet. Well, there is a solution to that. It seems like there's pending classes. Yes, I know, much easier said than done. Just do it. Ugh. Weird 6-day schedule? Yikes. Hate. Any sort of schooling that had to deal with COVID pandemic, I feel you. I'm holding your hand. That shit sucked ass. Yeah, and also I would prefer if we would refrain from talking like that in my chat. Thank you. Yeah. Wait, I'm almost at 4,000 encounters. There goes 30% of my humor. This is why I've started saying ooh. I'm gonna affect the trout population. Because I've been saying this to myself for years. You can't say things ironically. Never say something ironically, never joke about something ironically. Why? Because it's going to become unironic. It happens every single time you think, "Oh, it's not going to happen with this. It's not going to happen with this." And all of a sudden, you're saying something cringe. You start saying 6-7 for the love of the game. All right? Didn't go to my high school graduation because of COVID. Not going to my college one because it's all the smart kids and old people saying speeches for like 4 hours and they don't even get my name called. Okay, so for my graduation, we had like these little cards and we had to like write our name or whatever, and they wanted us to write down how you pronounce it so that ideally they would pronounce it correctly. They still fucking pronounce my name wrong. How? My last name is 3 fucking letters. It happens every single time. I was gonna argue with that, but you're kind of right. I know I'm right. It's happened to me every single time. Ow. How the fuck they get it wrong every single time? And that's what makes, I love phone calls. I hate phone calls. But when having to do like, I don't know, calling the pharmacy or whatever on the phone, I have to spell out my name every single time because there's a 0% chance that they're going to be able to spell it right, even though it's 3 letters. It's fun every time. Anyway, 400 encounters, or 4,000. Add a 0 to that. Yay! We're almost halfway to odds. And since I started earlier-ish, you could probably get there. That's like 200 encounters from now. Wait. Is the patch up? I shouldn't do it. But I could fire up Genshin right now and do a 10 pull. Should I? No, I shouldn't. But it would be funny. People don't know how to handle any slightly unconventional name. It is true. I have seen 0 people ever who have my last name. And it's because I think it got annihilated in in immigration. Immigration annihilated it. And we just had to deal with it. I went to my high school graduation dress as a princess with a friend that I had to convince to dress too. It was hilarious. Y'all got to dress up? We had to wear the fuck-ass robes. And under that, I'm like, why would I wear anything nice? I want to go home. It's in the middle of summer. I'm hot. Bye. No. I think we did go out with some friends and got some food afterward, but like, brother. Wait, I had a flashback. Was this in middle school or high school? I don't know. I think one of my friends convinced me to, like, play the flute, because I played flute. And not to say he forgot his lines, but she definitely forgot. And she was playing the lead. And I'm like, brother. Wait, now everyone wants to show a photo of their graduation has to hear the question of, wait, who's that guy dressed as a princess? God forbid people have any fun. Time for my guaranteed Nicole. Yippee! Yippee! I'm so tempted to do a 10 pull. I shouldn't. I objectively shouldn't. Because if I get unlucky on Lohen, I'm not going to be able to get Sandrone. But, like, it would be funny. That was the plan? I'm confused. I thought you said you did do that. Oh, and C2 Prune, thanks, Nicole. Wow, is C2 Prune any good? Also, it cannot be overstated how stupid of a name Prune is. It's not even just naming a character after a fruit. It's the connotation of a prune. I don't know, because in my brain, I cannot associate prunes with anything other than old people. And to have this little character, this child-looking-ass character being named Prune, girl. I steal all the attention of the night and also steal the attention of any future instance that they'll think about the graduation. Okay, but that means that it was memorable. When the graduation otherwise would have been boring as hell and everyone would have been like, get me the hell out of here, this sucks. Don't do the 10 pull. Thank you for being responsible. Although, speaking of doing a 10 pull, I did a 10 pull on Limbus last week, and I got Ryoshu. Is she good? What does she even do? I haven't had the chance to use your head. I just thought, hee hee, what if I did 10 pulls and I got her? It usually never works. It scratches the itch, though, of pulling the slots and you get a favorable result without me having to spend money on it, though. Very, very optimal. You can say a lot of my time in high school, like, you didn't finish it, or similar, but you can never say that I was not iconic nor memorable. And I was gonna say, and that's arguably more important. Well, that's debatable. If you think it would be advantageous, then perchance you should think about finishing. The way I remember to pre-farm everything but not her specialty. Do you need some? What does she use? What does she even use? Wait, does she use the butterflies? Please say no. Pine Amber? Which one's that? Oh no, that's the Varka one. Do you need some? I was picking up the butterflies earlier. I think there's 10 million of those, aren't there? I want to say there's a decent number of them, but it's probably just like 70 tops. I don't know. Second, with the normal one, it was something about being a top tier student or something. Oh, so you got a certification of being cool and special. something my second degree, but I use my second one to fake my identity or something because it's got a different name on it. I'll clear out my world and see what I'm missing. Slay. And you know what? I'll have to revise my statement. I was looking for all of the robot bugs in my world. It was a little annoying, but it was mostly annoying because the tracker kept jumping around everywhere and didn't go to places that were like right next to each other, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So it was annoying to having to teleport everywhere. I wonder how much faster this hunt would be if A, I weren't leading with a shiny, and B, if these stupid Growlithe would stop intimidating me. It loves to do that all the time. The whole year barely doing the things and... And I'm sure the second diploma was more like a... No. I'm like, participation award. No! But on paper, I got the diploma for being best of my generation. Counts for something. I have no idea where my degrees are. Who cares? I care a little. Not really, though. And I got it dressed as a princess. You should get it hydrated. I almost choked on my water. Help! God damn it. I have my phone open because I want to see new character testing. But all I'm seeing is rhythm games. Literally everything exists in Genshin. I need to hope and pray that the Miliastra sets that you have to play for like 20 days for isn't good, because that shit was so obnoxious. Like 10k or so for the dress? Damn! Which isn't a lot nowadays, but it was something a couple years back. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I don't know the currency, so fair enough. But I'm like, damn! I've never had to buy a fancy dress. So I don't know how much they usually cost. When was the last time I think I wore a dress was in like middle school. And that was after I went through a whole thing of me being like 7 and I'm wearing one. And I'm like, I hate this. I'm never going to do this again. But I got peer pressured. I got peer pressured that one time. And I felt dreadfully uncomfortable the entire night. And I'm like, okay, this time I'm never going to do it again. I think that was after my uncle and aunt's wedding because I had to wear a dress for that. I don't know. I got to go into a fishing game and saved and leave and then do autocomplete EXP stage for Miliastra stuff. Yeah, no, I do Genshin Duel. And I do the test dummy because I can leave immediately. But it's still so annoying. But I thought the clock dress was cute. And I wanted the owl mail set from last patch, but I just kept forgetting. That's the thing. I forget. I forgot. Wait, speaking of forgetting, who's gonna be my Neo friend? My Neopet's friend, my Neo friend. They updated the plot today. I need to do that. Oh, okay, it was a rental. Fair enough. I can't say I know a lot of currency translations in my head. More like $7? Goodness gracious. Ugh. Why can't... No, not the right thing to say. I'm not an economist. If I was, they should trust my decisions, though. It's depressing if you think about it for more than 1 second. It's depressing if you think about it for less than 1 second, okay? Is it either, so don't worry. Ugh. They should just they should just print more money and send it to each other. Prune is a catalyst? She is? I thought she was a claymore. I was envisioning folding money into paper airplanes and throwing it to each other, sending little notes. That's what I was envisioning in my head. Nothing you can say about our economy will be worse than what our president is doing to us. Ugh. The things that I wish on powerful political figures are things that I don't think I can say. I don't know what the TOS is, and I don't want to read it, so I will refrain, but you can pick up on subtext. I hate this microphone. This microphone is pissing me off. Stop picking up Dinky Fan. But I need to have Dinky Fan. I might have to get Dinky Fan the first. Dinky little fan. Oh no, it probably has a lot of spiders in it. But I fear it is simply too bug. It is simply too humid. You go outside and it's like you take a little sip of water. You're swimming. I only hear your voice on my end. Okay, that's good. Because I don't... Look, I listen to things very quietly because too loud, it hurt my ear. But I see the little bar. I see it. It picks up my fan, but very slightly. I don't hear the fan either. Yes! And I celebrate. Because I get scared of that. I mean, wait, you might also hear the clicky of my keyboard. Whatever. The mic sounds good. Actually, it sounds like you're a mic hater. I am a mic hater, but I'm also... I'm sorry for being mean to you, Mike. You've been very good to me, all things considered. For it not being terribly expensive. It's definitely better than the old decade headphones microphone. And probably better than, I don't know, like wired earbuds microphone. But I don't know because I've never done that. Wired earbuds just hurt my ears now. Which kind of sucks if if there's a ton of honking or if there's like a baby crying nearby. So I just have to tank it. Or if I have to share the room with my brother. It's usually fine though. God damn it. See, like, I also try to put my water bottle down softly so it doesn't pick up because it's right next to the mic. I kind of hate for it, but I have to admit that I'm watching a shiny hunting stream by my own choice. This is your exercising of free will. This is my exercising of free will. What's worse, you watching it or me doing it? I imagine that you might be doing oh, thank you for the follow. What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's that I'm not like actively watching the screen, okay? Okay, this is my pro shiny hunting tip. This isn't your primary activity. This is your side activity. I'm not actively looking at the game at all times. If you do that, you are going to get so bored. Well, maybe you won't, but I will. Imagine watching a shiny hunting stream. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Yeah, so I don't see a ton of it, but the whole I don't get how people could reset a game thousands of times just for your pixels to be different colors. Well, first of all, it's cool to have a shiny on your team. Second of all, you think my ass is paying attention the whole time? Hell no. What was I going to say? They asked us, clearly knowing what they were going to say. No, sometimes I forget what I'm saying mid-sentence. It happens. The train of thought crashes into a wall, but then that I'm staring at the burning wreckage, and in the distance I see a perfect clone of the train, and I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I remember. I'm suffering doing side quests. I skipped an EO2 because I forgot they're attached to post-game stuff. Imagine not doing all the side quests. Haha, that was not what I said. Who clearly knows what the... Is that not what you said? Oh, wait. You... Okay. It's that you know what I was going to say. I understand. You must also understand that I'm not scrutinizing your messages very closely. I'm reading them. I am gleaning the general gist of them, which is why you can typo, and I'm not going to notice. Me when I was Celesting, and someone just wrote a nonsense sentence that didn't make any sense, but I cobbled it together to mean something. You know what? I say this is not the primary activity, but it low-key kind of is. I'm just not looking at the screen. They don't give EXP? Why not? Are they stupid? Have they considered giving you EXP? Some of the rewards are, like, okay. I need to fix that. I need to fix that. The fact that it is showing on screen is pissing me off. Actually, wait, hold on. Everything that I have named on my OBS scene is so annoying. No. Is it under audio splits? No. I feel like new alerts is like the follow alert. Okay, it might be okay now. Also, let it be known, Discord ping is the least popular. Sound redeem. It doesn't work as well as a prank as if you can see the giant message, haha, it's a prank. Exactly. I mean, it also doesn't help that I can't hear them regardless. And I have no idea why. It feels like every single time I troubleshoot it, it stops working in like a week. So I'm just like, whatever. Also, I just don't like how it looks. I don't like how the notification looks. But I personally need to see the follow ones because otherwise I'm not going to hear them. I can't hear them. You can't hear it? No, I didn't hear it. I don't hear any of your sound redeems. Only you hear them. Unless you can't hear them, in which case you should tell me. But is it because you could just spam sleep and refight Stratum bosses for massive EXP, which I don't do yet? Sure you do. You had 100,000 points? Well, not anymore. How many points do you have now after spending 100,000? Yeah, he's just showing off. That's what it's for. Minus 100k is just for showing off. 900k? Yeah, but that's not an achievable number. We have to have something achievable. Okay. I know because I'm a terminal lurker. If you don't gamble, that shit will take you years. Plural. I heard the Discord ping, but it was so quiet I thought you got a notification. And it picked up on the mic. Okay, that's so funny. So you mean I should turn them up? See, I have them so turned down because Metal Pipe is loud. It's loud. 5k can redeem you some things. Did it go off? Do you like how I put in brackets? Loud. Okay, is it even working? Wait, no, I feel like it didn't go off. So the real prank was you spending the 1,000 points? Yeah. Actually, I think it can refund you, but I don't know how. How do I do that? Review request. At least your sound went off? Yeah. I don't think the other ones did. Hold. Stop. These things are from last year. Yeah, I could see. I don't even see the request for it. I see yours. How? Complete. What's going on? There's work to do in the reward department. Why did it break? Help! This is not my fault. Okay, whatever. I'll fix them off stream. Also, I'll find a I'll find a fresh Daisy picture, fresh off the presses. All right, this one never before seen because I took it today. I'll send it to me on Discord, and then I gotta copy it, and then I gotta paste it. It was working when I got it, so either I broke it or the 100K did. My thought is that it's because multiple sound things were redeemed at the same time. Or at a very similar time. But I don't know. Ew, WebP. Disgusting. Alright, dog picture incoming. There she is. My thought is, ugh, cats. Sorry, I only have one dog. Help. She's here. I've only ever had dogs. Well, I've had a couple fish. But I've had 2 dogs. I've not had cats. I would like a cat. Daisy pretty small, she can be an honorary cat. She... We joke sometimes that she behaves like a cat because most of the time she just lays around sleeping. Which feels very cat-coded. But I fear that I don't know what cats get up to otherwise, because I've not had one. I was gonna say, I don't think Daisy would like a cat, which she wouldn't, but I think if anything, the cat would bully Daisy. And then she would just get over it for a while. My cats like to eat and sleep. Yeah, it sounds... sounds about the same. Except Daisy likes to do secret third thing, protect. Which is to say, she likes to bark. It's one of her hobbies. It's one of her passions in life. One of them likes pets, the other likes to play. Oh my goodness. So you're saying Daisy's like a fusion. But she only sometimes likes to play and only when someone else, like, initiates. Well, that's not even necessarily true anymore. Sometimes she'll go get her pineapple because she has a pineapple plushie toy with a squeaker in it. Like sometimes she'll get it, but usually it's only when someone else picks it up then she's like, okay, play mode. We're playing. Rah, my made-up religion says that every animal can choose what animal to be, and then goes on to say that any animal isn't... Can't read. Isn't a cat, isn't worth respect because other than the base respect of being alive, you know, because what do you mean you can be a cat and you chose not to be? What's wrong with you? Well, what if they wanted to be a shoebill? Shoebills are cool. I don't know if he's protecting me or begging me for attention. Definitely begging for attention. No, I was worried Daisy was having a seizure earlier because she was acting really weird. Like, she was not running, but like, I don't know, pacing around in circles, which she usually doesn't do. And I'm like, are you feeling okay? But she settled down after a while and started acting more normal. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's fine. Still a little tiny spooky. The only animal that gets respect other than cats or bees, those are necessary and hence they get respect. They want to be a cat, but they have to take one for the team. What about all the other pollinators? Lame, bring out the wasps. Y'all, I didn't know that WASP was like an acronym as well as the bug. Until I made an art piece for a class that was like a wasp. Because it was to like make a 3D structure using the words of a letter, and they wanted us to use our name, and I was not transgender at the time, so I was like, I really do not want to do this for reasons that I cannot define. No, I was trans at the time, I just didn't want to come out to the class. So I made a wasp. And me showing off my 3D wasp to the class, and the professor asks me, hey, is this like the acronym? And I'm like, what? Yeah, like, I'm like, it's white something. Protestant. And I'm like, no, it's a wasp. Like the bug from outside. I want to know what the connection was. Me, when I look at the bug outside and I think about white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, I think that's what it is. Huh? No. My dream world is full of cats and bees. Very fluffy world. I don't think WASP is an acronym. It comes to WAVE. It's definitely an acronym. It's just a made-up acronym, though. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in WASP as an acronym. I believe in WASP as a word. There's so many cool animals. I would be sad if there were less animals. Because there's so many cool ones. Imagine if we didn't have whales anymore. Something, who's we're taking a field trip to the Georgia Aquarium so we can see the whale shark. But also me when I go outside and I look at a big tree and it's completely coated with lantern flies and I go, I fucking hate those lantern flies. Oh, and before you realize it, what do you know? We're at 4,100 encounters. I'm confused. You're saying wasps are... Oh, no. Wasp, the bug, are not an acronym. But WASP is an acronym separately. Sorry. I don't know why wasps are called wasps, but they are called wasps as one word. But it is also an acronym for some type of white person, and I don't know why. Imagine if we didn't have sloth bears. Yo, sloth bears are so cool. They're so cute. Wait. I think they have some at the zoo. I could go there. Oh my god. They are called wasps from to wave. See, and I'm confused what you mean by that. I'm on chapter 2, you're on chapter 5. Ugh. Wait, I was gonna say, isn't it so cool how I got 2 Kirby games on my 3DS and I didn't finish any of them, and then I remembered. Speaking of shiny Pokemon. No, my side quests. Someone made a shiny patch for Red Rescue Team, and I spent a little bit of my day today trying to set that up. Which, as an aside, it's way easier to, you know, not that I would ever advocate for setting up ROMs or emulators or anything. No, 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 no. But if I were, it's so much easier to do a GBA or a DS one than it is to do a 3DS one. Like, a lot easier. And it was so easy to patch it, theoretically. So what do you mean I get to shiny hunt my starter in Red Rescue Team? Will I be doing that? Yes. But I could also pick my starter. And I'm like, do I want to do Sneasel? And if I did Sneasel, what would I want my partner to be? Because I would feel weird about picking, like, a Flygon that can evolve 2 times. Or a Trapinch that could evolve 2 times. And Sneasel who can't evolve because it's Gen 3. So I don't know. Oh, wait. So when you have bugs close to you, you wave to get them off. That was turned into a word being wasp. Interesting. Etymology is so cool. Words are so fake, though. Wait, we're not talking about emulators. Alright, look. I'm deleting your message. You didn't do anything wrong, but, like... Ugh. Just because I know... It's not good practice to talk about emulators. Or, like, where you get ROMs. Just to make sure that they can stay accessible for people. If you should want to get them. But yes, theoretically, if I did have a 3DS emulator, they're not terribly consistent. They don't run the best. Like, they work, but they're definitely not as stable. I would argue in this theoretical scenario that you are wrong. It is so easy to find an emulator. If you want one, it's so easy. It's so easy. But also, I don't know, because I've never... I'm not in the know about GBA stuff. Not like the fun police are scanning my fucking chat messages. Oh well. My allergies have also been kicking my ass lately. I hate the spring. I hate the summer. It's so fun to sneeze until, like, your chest hurts and you're crying and you can't see anything. And you can't take allergy meds. Oh, wait. I, like, actually can't. Ugh. I need to remember that. I also... What GBA stuff? Who? Red Rescue Team. Scale issue when it's spring over here. I just enjoy life. I wish. Me the whole time being like, wow, I wish it was warm enough for me to plant things. And then as soon as it is, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit and super humid. Or there's so much pollen, I can barely function. Zyrtec or bust. Have you tried not having them? Oh my god! Why didn't I think of that? You're so right. I'll try that next time. I don't think we have Zyrtec. I have a big bottle of generic Claritin. I don't know what the medicine is called, but it's way cheaper than Claritin, and there's like 300 of them, so I've been using that. Just say no. They can't attack you without consent. You know, dare I say, I'm not sure that's true, but you know, I'll try it just in case. And then you look on the ground and it's just completely coated with yellow. You know, dare I say. Dasselha pollen. It's just like getting raw. You're so right. Just say no. They can't take your stuff. Consent is important. True. And on that note, I like look super nice. You should you should let me borrow your wallet. Just say no and they'll stop. Yeah, that's good advice. That's good advice. This is so strange. I'm so Eevee pilled, you know, from the ordeal that was like a month and a half of looking for Eevee. That getting this many encounters in like 2 hours feels like so much. It feels like something's wrong. What do you mean? I don't know how if it works if a robber says no to your no, though. Okay, but following that logic, why can you just say, okay, well, I say no to your no to my saying no, and then at that point, you're trapped in an infinite loop. You're trapped until someone breaks out. So you have to out stamina them. And if you ask the very reasonable question of what if they can't be out staminaed? What if they just keep saying no? Well, then you just kind of become a fixture. You become stuck. You're in your own little time dimension, constantly rebuking each other, and people are pushing past you because you're in the middle of the fucking sidewalk on their way to work, and you're just stuck there and you can't move because if you do, you're gonna get robbed. Now, at what point do you just cut your losses? Or are you in too deep that you're like, I can't stop now? I've been here for like a day. I fear that could destroy time and space as we know it. So you gotta think, you gotta say no and no take backsies. It's like if you're playing tag, you say no tag backs. Because you know you're gonna tag an annoying piece of shit who just immediately grabs you again and tags you, and it's like, okay, motherfucker. That's not in the spirit of the game. And this is when we bring up that infinity can be different sizes. Are you a small infinity or a big infinity? Or are you a medium infinity? I don't know how it works. I'm not a math. Wait, no, there is no infinite plus 2. Damn it. Why not? Just add 2 to it, you silly goose. Ugh. There is no. There is no infinite plus 2, damn it. Are you referencing something? Do we know how many numbers of pi exist? Yes, I know, theoretically infinite, but there are numbers. What's the biggest number? What if people just what if it just came out one day that it wasn't infinite? It was just a really big-ass number. What then? All of our calculations are wrong. Yeah, and what if the moon was made of cheese? There's a non-zero chance that when I get this Growlithe, it'll be named Moon Cheese. That was the name I thought of earlier. But we are still early in the hunt, so We are taking suggestions for Growlithe and also any theoretical phases that I get. But that won't matter because I'm just going to get the Growlithe on the first try. And I'm also going to get Nidoran first try, right? I'm glad we agree. Why am I tired? I'm not tired. We're almost at 4192. I need to actually pay attention to the numbers so that I can see it and I can go, hey, everyone. Wowzers. Okay, so the first question, did you ever get in a fight as a child where it end is like, you're dumb +2? Okay, yeah. Oh, you're dumb +10. Okay, yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. It was just a metal pipe dropped on my silly little skull infinity +1 times. And to the second question, pi is infinite. There is a mathematical proof. Yeah, I know it's infinite. Mathematical. Don't remind. I hate math. I hate math. I hate proofs. I hated geometry proofs. I had to go to fucking summer school for geometry. I hate it. Throw the whole geometry away. The only shape that matters is the humble triangle. Maybe the slightly less humble circle. I hate math too. Rah, math. I need to hope and pray that my fucking calculator didn't run out of batteries. It doesn't have corroded batteries in it. Ugh. It just felt like people were making shit up for fun in geometry. That's why I didn't like it. You're making a proof. It's like, okay, you're just saying shit for no reason. The only math that I didn't mind was statistics. But I also like the teacher. She was our choreographer for theater. Why would the triangle be humble? And in what universe is a circle humble? It's humble because I said so. I love triangles. Imagine that one Germa gif where he rips off his shirt and the shirt underneath it is Mexico, but it's me and it says triangles. It can also say Mexico if you wanted to. But it says, I heart triangles. The circle is maybe the most prideful shape of all, followed by the octagon. Okay, why the octagon? I can see circle. I feel like triangles feel very common. So I'm like, well, they're everywhere. But they're so sturdy. They're very humble. Octagons are bestagon, got to their head. I've heard nobody say that ever. But I feel like if you ask someone their favorite shape, they would go, what are you, 5? No. But what's your favorite fucking shape? You're gonna think of triangle, you're gonna think of the square, and you're gonna think of the circle. And if you say, I like a parallelogram, you're a nerd. I like trapezoids. Are we playing with shapes? Are we playing with the little math blocks? Yes. Yes, we are. We're doing fractions. I hope you like long division. Stop sign, best sign. I mean, it's it's old reliable. There's gotta be a better one, though. There's a pink sign. What's the pink one? Wait, Deer Crossing. Or Animal Crossing. Those ones are the best ones. Because then you have an inkling in the back of your head. Oh my goodness, what if I see a deer? What if I see, what other would they, I don't know, like a moose? Oh my god, moose. Oh my god, a buffalo. Buffalo are so cool. You ask someone their favorite shape and they answer with anything other than a shape. You chose a wrong group of people to be around. Exactly. I like trapezoids. Trapezoids are fine. It's just like, I don't know, if you ask for someone's favorite color and they hit you with a seafoam green, like, okay, I guess. Like, that is a color. But we're talking about the big 7. No, big 6. Indigo is not a fucking color. It's, wait, red, orange, yellow, green. It is 6. We're talking about big 6. What about pink? Pink is in the weird territory with brown. It's holding hands with brown. Because you can say brown is just dark orange, brown is just dark red, pink is just light red. Like, it's acceptable, but it's borderline. I do not want to see a moose. That might be the last thing I see. Are moose aggressive? Octagons or bestigons is something that is said a lot? Okay. My ass is not paying attention. Pink and brown look cute together, so I like that they're holding hands. They are. They're like Neapolitan colored. They're both girls and they will kiss. I was thinking of saying they're in Yuri together. But I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so they're Yuri now. Trapezoids are a big group that's like saying your favorite word is verbs. Trapezoid has a favorite shape, they're LARPing. Okay. But when you think about a trapezoid, at least in my head, I think of flat or like short top, equal side diagonals, big thing on the bottom. That's what I think of. So I see the vision. Ads again? Yes, sorry. They can be. Stop hiccuping! Help! I was gonna ask the question of what's the straightest color. But I don't need to ask what the straightest color is. The straightest color is obviously blue. It's definitely blue. Also, what do you mean there's only 6 colors? What do you mean cyan isn't one of them? Don't answer, I'm on ads. No. But see, I am gonna answer. Because if we're talking... Cyan is a fusion color. It's blue-green. Like indigo. Indigo is blue-purple. That's what I'm saying. If we're talking about big 6, which one's your favorite? I was literally about to say blue. It's literally... Blue is a good color. I like blue. But it's definitely because it's... Okay, I actually don't have statistics on it, but it feels like it is the most common favorite color, and it's the most corporate color. If you see a company, it's probably going to have a blue logo. If you see a tech company, tech feels very straight. Blue logo. Of course we say this, but the Earth, lovely, lovely Earth, blue oceans, Earth definitely a lesbian. But it's okay because she's also green. All right. What do you mean there's only 6 colors? How isn't cyan one of them? Because it's green-blue. Cyan is green and blue. And you may say, then green isn't a color. And I'll say, I feel like green is distinct enough to have its own classification. If we're talking about primary colors and we're talking about secondary colors, we're not talking about no indigo, we're not talking about no cyan, we're not talking about no chartreuse, we're not talking about, I don't think orange yellow has a name. I think that's just called orange. I have some news about the other colors. They're made up of other colors. Yes, exactly, but I'm drawing the line. It is its own color. But yes, I could say, oh yeah, my favorite color is like periwinkle. Okay, so take a step back. We're going to the basics. Which one's your favorite out of the basics? Which one's your favorite out of the more complicated ones? 2 different questions. The line is arbitrary and I don't like it. It's arbitrary because if there isn't a line, you're gonna start giving me hex codes and I ain't gonna look at those. I don't want to look up no CMYK. It's also because I'm a firm denier of including indigo in the rainbow. Because why is indigo the only fusion color other than the secondary colors? Why isn't cyan included? It's stupid. Funny orange is how I would describe my cat. Holy freaking moly. Pink deserves it more than indigo. Yeah. Yeah, it does. You could put it in the line of, if the color has a unique name and isn't a shade of another color, then it counts. But then pink. Light red. You can make a unique shade color for everything. Pink has a name, but it is also light red. Although I don't remember it now. It's okay. We can make up colors together. I'm literally one of world's biggest indigo fans. I love Blurple. But I'm not gonna say my favorite color is Blurple. I'm gonna say it's red because it's true. Every color is a mix of other colors. We've talked about this already. The line is, it has a unique name. The line is, I ask the question, I make the arbitrary rules. I don't want to hear nobody say their favorite color is chartreuse because you're lying. No, it's not. You're saying that for fun. Chartreuse is dehydrated pea color. Yeah. In my head, it's Grello. Grello. Or Yeen. Green, yellow. But isn't it so funny how orange yellow is just orange? Yellow is the weirdest color. Ah. Yellow is also a top tier color, but it sucks. It sucks and it's so weird. I decide the truth. Okay, Goro Akechi. I hate that man. I hate that character so much. Which is so fucking weird because he like fits every single trope of characters that I go crazy for. I hate his ass. I hate his ass so much. It's unreasonable, frankly. And you know what? Part of the reason is because the most popular Persona 5 ship, I think, is with him and the protagonist. And because I don't like him, I see him all the time anyway, which annoys me. Grr. And also, what do you mean he likes pancakes? I like pancakes. Why do we have to share that? Get this man out of here. How in the world do I not like the unhinged gay detective guy? What's wrong with me? I need to... Okay. There has to be a gay mod for P5 Royal, right? Someday. Someday when that game is like $1, I'll get it. Ow. It's too warm for me even though I'm wearing shorts. Sigh. It's not helping the posture thing. Wait, we hit 80 or 40. Wait, no. Ah. Wait. No, I'm stupid. We already passed half odds. Oh, I was confusing 81.92. I thought it was 41.92. It's 40.96. Okay, well, we're 100 over half odds now. I didn't notice. Yippee! Who was gonna tell me? Point and laugh. I think maybe we can get to 4,300 if I'm feeling a little spicy. That makes no sense. I think that means I might have done 1,000 encounters today. It's so nice. Since we both, streamer and chat, know that you aren't paying attention, what are the odds of you encountering a shiny and then running away? 50%. I do it or I don't. Okay, but if you want the actual thing, it's probably pretty low because I do look at the encounters, and because of the shiny sparkle, 4,200 by the way, it will spawn in, or I'll have access to buttons slower, so I'll have more chance to see it, and most of the shinies on this route are pretty obvious. I will almost certainly not run away from one. If I do run away from one, it'll be a Meowth, because I think the only change on it is that the brown parts, or the brown accents, turn pink, and because I have a red light filter on my computer, I'm not sure how well the pink will show up. But I'll probably notice. These shinies are things where if I don't notice that they're different, I deserve to fail them. It'll be fine. Yeah, no, don't worry, don't worry. I also don't know how to spell reassuring. But you know what? That's okay, because spelling is a social construct. As long as we understand what we're saying, it's fine. Why would you run away from the Meowth shiny? Do what the Bible says, catch it and put it in a box forever? No, 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 no. I don't want to run away from one. I'm saying that if, in the theoretical scenario in which I did, I would be most likely to not notice that a Meowth was shiny because it has the least amount of changes of the things we can find on this route. Like Pidgey turns piss yellow all over. It's so yellow, it's immediately obvious. Ekans becomes green. Growlithe becomes a bright yellow. Meowth has the accents change. Yeah. I would love to get a shiny Meowth. I love shiny Meowth. Even though it is subtle. I'm also not entirely sure what its sprite looks like in this game, so I don't know how apparent it would be until I see one, of course. Which isn't unlikely. Is that a smoke ball? Oh yeah, wait, I didn't mention it. I bought a smoke ball. I didn't gamble. I used literally all of the money that I had on this save to get 1,000 coins to buy the smoke ball so we could see Flareon more. So now I have no money. You gambled, I didn't gamble. This is my gambling. I bought the coins. I'm gonna need... Did you film it? No. Actually, maybe. Is there proof you didn't gamble? I'd have to check. I may have deleted it. I only have so much space on my computer, okay? Believe it or not, videos take up a lot of space. Especially when they're multiple hours long. You gambled and now you're going to create fake evidence. Yeah. Why would I need to do that, though? If I did gamble on the slots, I would film it, because it would have been funnier to see how many times I lost. To see me slowly gamble away all my coins. No, I just wanted to see this goddamn Flareon I worked far too hard to get. My beautiful little Ollie. Look at him. He's so orange. And yellow. Funny how it all comes full circle. Something, something, why do you have 5 yellow shinies on your team? Why not? Wait, pause. Paw. Z. I have blue shinies. I have orange and yellow shinies. My team is kind of Arrow Ace flag coded. We just taking into account the white Eevee, it's the Arrow Ace flag. I love the smoke balls so much. It's a shame it only works with item randomizers where it shows up early. I mean, in this game it showed up pretty early. I only have 2 badges. But yeah. It's a very unexpectedly useful item. Very, very nice for hunting purposes. I imagine it's probably pretty good if you're, like, Nuzlocking. At this point, you can choose not to encounter wilds with repels. Yes. If I had money, which I don't. I'll need money once I think I've decided that I do want a repel trick for Nidoran, even though it only increases the percent by, like, 1. It goes from a 14% to, like, a 15.5%, but I'll take what I can get at this point. You have the money and the way to make money. I mean, I have a Versus Seeker, so yes. Hi, Bug! Hi! Hope you've been well. Also, you want to see something nifty? Look. It's my Flareon. That I didn't go to 34K for. I didn't even go to 20K for it. I almost did, though. I was wrong! Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, if I did go to 34K, I would still be hunting it. I would not have been able to fit that amount of resets in. So, it's nice that this is going a lot faster. I'm at like 20 hours, and I'm over half odds. So, yippee. Hopefully we won't be trapped in the torture nexus again. Why can't I go down while writing a message here? Like, what? Like, I can't create another out of nowhere? I have no idea what you're saying. I need to actually write messages. True. Me when I have to write messages so that the messages are written out. And then people will reply to my messages. You can't reply to my message that I haven't written. I'm sorry. Choo-choo. Sorry, I had a thought of, would it be a decent surgery recover activity to fill out my decks to get to 40 dex entries, so I could get the Amliet coin. Amliet coin. Mino talk so good sometime. Okay, so the last message was 1 line. The other one was 2 lines. Any other place I could go down lines without actually writing things on it, I can't hear. Ah. Well, that's because Twitch sucks. I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than, it sucks. Also, I love Mystery Dungeon music. There is a lot of Mystery Dungeon music on this playlist. It's just that the shuffle is stupid, so it doesn't always play them. I have all of my best hits from the 4 Pokemon ones. Which is just ones that I like. Minus a couple ones because I deem them too spooky. But I should add them. I should add Dusk Noir. Because why not? And all these years later, I'm still a little peeved that they didn't even give Darkrai its own theme. Why not? The Big Bad doesn't even get its own song. I mean, it's because Dusknoir is far more iconic than it can ever hope to be, but still. I love you, Darkrai. That's an octagon, but in one line. Oh. I feel like there is a way to, like, enter without sending the message, but I wouldn't know what it is. See, I thought that the hyphens and the underscores were like mouths, and it was a face going, like shielding your eyes. No shiny. Cringe. Oh, but I'm back up to 210 encounters per hour. Yippee. Things that nobody cares about but me. I care. Me want number go up. The more encounters I get, the more encounters I get. What would be a good companion for a Sneasel in Red Rescue Team? I've been racking my brain about it all day. I thought Furret first, because Furret's cute. And also they... I was gonna say Gapmoe. That's not what Gapmoe is. They just contrast well. But I also really want to use a Flygon. Rah! Yeah, I thought it was one of those. That face when no shiny Growlithe. I was gonna say that face with no shiny Eevee. I mean, I suppose it's technically true. Okay, one complaint though. It's not that the Flareon back sprite is bad. But like, if you can see on the bottom, we have the Flareon front sprite. It looks wider. It looks fluffier. Why does Flareon's back sprite look so squished? It looks weird. Why is it like that? They put it in the hydraulic press. I didn't hear what Pokemon you want to make a team with. Okay, so Sneasel leader. What partner? Trapinch, which would eventually be Flygon. Sentret, which would eventually be Furret. Secret third option, suggestion. Or do I not even do Sneasel? I just like Sneasel. I want to do something with a Sneasel. And in all the games I could think about, you can't get Sneasel until later. You want to use Trapinch regardless of what would be optimal. I don't care about being optimal. Which, by the way, is the idea of games. Okay, I don't care about being optimal. I care about storytelling potential. And I don't like the fact that in Red Rescue Team, Sneasel cannot evolve, but Trapinch can. And you may say, well, Sentret can also evolve. Yeah, but only once. So, it matches better, in my opinion. I meant the idea of games is to ignore the optimal team. Oh, okay, I get it. It wasn't clear the way that I worded it. It's fine. Because now we are on the same page. But yeah, I was just thinking of weird... I guess Flygon's not that weird. But like weird partners. Or starters. That wouldn't be in other teams. Because like, I wouldn't mind using a Murkrow. But I can only think of the Murkrow from Sky that's in the team with Shuppet. and I love them. But I'm like, why aren't you in Team Ebony? This is cursed. I'll never speak again. No, it's okay. Hashtag my misunderstanding. But there is something very funny about the idea of this big dragon next to this little shit weasel. There's something kind of funny about that. I love Sneasel. I wish it were more accessible. You get it at the end of the game in Soul Silver. You get it at the end of the game in Gen 4. Soul Silver, I mean like Heart Gold. The Johto games. Where else do you get it? All the ice areas are at the end of the game. I don't even want to use Weavile. I just want a Sneasel. Sneasel's so cute. And then they give it that ugly-ass evolution in Legends Arceus. I will be mad that Sneasler exists forever. Why is it so... And I look up like I'm looking up at a Sneasler towering over me. Ah! Why is it so... gestures vaguely at it? You know? Onion? Yeah, I agree. It makes me cry looking at it. Although, rare instance, I was cutting up an onion earlier, and it didn't affect me at all, which was so weird. I didn't have to leave the room like 3 times. I'm out of ideas of messages that aren't words. I'll speak again. Why would you cut an onion? So I could cook it because I was hungry and the thing I wanted had onion. Are you an onion? Sorry. You wouldn't know the one that you wouldn't know the one that I cut up. Yes? Oh. I'm actually an onion. Check my profile picture. Wait, you are an onion. Sorry, it's not that I didn't expect it, it's just that every single time it's like, oh, read my username, check my profile picture, and the profile picture is check my channel, and it's a scam. What a coincidence. If I said it was a red onion, would that make it any better? I've been an onion since 2018, and everything that comes with a profile picture, my bank account had to accept an onion after a lengthy call to customer service. Your bank has profile pictures? Hold on. Me emailing people from my email where the profile picture is a bird. It's a pigeon. It's a fat fuck pigeon. I love pigeons. Or calling people on Zoom and my profile picture is it's a dog in a cowboy hat with the text "What in tarnation" underneath it, and I have no idea why it is that. But I forgot it was, and then it's like, oh, hey, your connection's cutting out. Do you mind turning off your camera, see if that's any better? And it was, but I see "What in tarnation" dog, and I have to try and not laugh. I'm trying, I promise. But it was very funny. It's almost as bad as when on my school email, someone in my class asked me if my profile picture was from Demon Slayer. And I felt like evaporating because no, it wasn't. I don't remember what it was from. I don't even like that show anymore. I was thinking about it recently, but in the whole not understanding why people will watch things on like 0.5, 2x speed. No, my ass definitely watched Demon Slayer like after season 2, not counting the Rengoku arc, because why the fuck is that shit a movie and also a season? That's stupid. The one with the guy with the 3 wives. After that one, I watched that shit on 2x speed. It was so boring. And you may say, if it was so boring and you were watching it on 1.5 speed, why'd you watch it? Well, it was for a very, very important reason. I really needed to see why the movie was 3 hours long, and I felt that I needed the context. I really shouldn't have done that. I didn't like watching it. And the funniest thing is that despite the movie being 3 hours, it's also like the first part of the arc. I also don't think it needed to be 3 hours. It was so much meandering flashback. There isn't context. The movie had no right being 3 hours. See, you're right. I agree. But like, as much as I'm a proponent of your movie doesn't need to be 3 hours, sometimes I will watch a movie that's like 2.5 hours over 2 hours, and I'll be like, yeah, this one kind of did need to be that long. It's not as common. A lot of people do not have that much to say for that amount of time. Sometimes they do, and it's fine. Demon Slayer did not need to be 3 hours long, and there's going to be more movies. Help! Interstellar's 3 hours. The movie doesn't have the same amount of content as Interstellar. So fucking much of it was just flashbacks for that guy, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care about this guy. And then they go back, and it's like, are we moving the plot forward? And it moves forward an inch, and then we have another flashback, and it keeps going and going and going, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are you flooding me with all these flashbacks for this guy that I don't even like? I'm not gonna feel bad for him, actually. I hate the argument, I don't go to a movie because it's long. It is an argument, go to jail. See, I kind of say that. Why does a movie need to be 2 hours? But it's only because I'm scared of watching a 2-hour movie and be like, okay, you just wasted my fucking time. Look at what I'm doing now, wasting my goddamn time. Did not have enough content to cover 3 hours. It's the fact that plus there's more. Ugh, pissing me off. Things should be the length that they need to be. You don't have to bloat them out to hit arbitrary numbers. Like, what does this gain for you? I don't know. We can't watch a 3-hour movie. We need that time to shiny hunt. Okay, but hear me out. You're not out in public or whatever. You're not at a movie theater or whatever. You can do both. Now, I usually don't do that because I like to pay attention when I'm watching something. But if I might occasionally. It helps when I'm doing a hunt that you barely have to look at the screen. You can just read on the side, because you can spend most of your time looking at the text and just occasionally glancing over. It's probably not the best, but whatever. If I don't do that, I'm gonna be fidgeting with something else, so dare I say I may as well do something productive. And you can argue that this isn't productive, but I need all the materials so I can work on my big project. All right, I'm gathering material for my project. So yes, it is. Pidgey. You know, I was also thinking about the movie thing recently because I mentioned that I saw Project Hail Mary because my mom really liked the book and she wanted to see it, and I'm like, sure, I'll go with you. and I didn't know how long it was, so when I heard 2.5 hours, I was a little intimidated, but coming out of that, I'm like, you know what? This is something that deserved to be 2.5 hours. I am okay with this, actually. I don't think my mom agreed, though. But that's fine. This ain't about her. Wait, and I need that time to watch you shiny hunt? True. And then we go back to the you can't get robbed. You could just say no. We get into the infinite loop. I'm trapping you here with me. We're stuck. I need to not have this thing open at the side. I'm seeing rage bait. Yeah, nobody asked for your opinion, Miss Mother. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. But it was like yeah, some parts I thought were like really slow or quiet and it's not much happening, and I'm like, it's nothing textually maybe happening, but it's still a moment to like let the audience breathe, or like to think about what's going on. Don't spoil it. I plan to read the book eventually. I won't. But it's like, I don't feel that this is wasted time. I feel that it is just not being used in a way that you would expect, perhaps, when I get an audiobook of it in legal ways. See, I would read the book, but from what little snippets I've seen of it, I think it would piss me off. I think I would not like it. So, perhaps hastily, I don't think I'll read it. I'll just giggle when I see people shipping fucking Ryan Gosling and Markiplier. I think it's very silly. Not the people necessarily. The characters in the movies, but when people draw them, since the characters are played by actors, they look like the actors. And bro, that's just Markiplier. So it's silly. But yay, I can rewatch Iron Lung on May 31st. Iron Lung watch party. People are being shipped that have never been shipped before. It's so funny. But like, I understand the vision. There's kind of a similar premise, and Iron Lung and Project Hail Mary movies came out within a few months of each other. They're very similar in a lot of ways. Wait, is Markiplier in the movie? Oh, no. That would be really cool. I'm talking about Iron Lung. Iron. Wait, like the molten iron that's being drip fed into you. You know what, though? I appreciate it. We normalize crack shipping, please. I've had enough of the rhetoric, oh, why are you shipping these characters together they've never spoken before? And? So? They're not from the same franchise. But people can see the vision. It's okay. Was Iron Lung also 3 hours? Probably. It was like 2.5. Movies have just been getting longer. Maybe that's what it... It could also be confirmation bias, because in my head, you asked me, what's the last movie that I saw that's recent that was like 90 minutes? And I couldn't tell you. But that's also because I don't watch a lot of movies. Normalized crack shipping coming from the same person who eliminated a message for mentioning emulators. This doesn't relate at all. Not crack as in the drug. That's just what they're called. I mean, I guess it technically is. I think none of those things are more... Yes, crack is illegal. The shipping of actual substance is illegal. The act of taking a of shipping, as in relationshipping, a nonsensical pairing is not related to drug trafficking. I think. It could be. You shouldn't normalize shipping crack. I would argue you shouldn't normalize shipping any drugs. See, yes. But then we can get into a we can get into a whole kerfuffle, all right? But crack is particularly... We're not talking about the drug. That's just what it's called. That's what nonsense pairings are called. They're called crack ships. I don't know why they're called that. I mean, yes, kids, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. I put on my, like, dare hat. Drugs are bad. Yeah, pretend not to know. I don't know the etymology, just like I don't know why people call gay smut lemon. Why is it called lemon? If I were to guess on the crack shipping, it's because it's something that doesn't make sense, and an outsider would look at that and they would say something like, "Are you on crack?" Which is not very nice to say. But the term's caught on, I fear. We need to bring back the citrus scale, if only because it's funny. Also, okay, completely personal gripe. I don't care for when smut is called spice, if only because it reminds me when people on this art post this art app would draw things that were slightly risque or whatever, and they would call it sin. Or they would draw a queer pairing and they would call it, "Oh, my sinful gabies." And I'm like, okay, this makes me want to peel my skin off, all right? That's what it feels like. That's why I don't like it. It's not bad, though. Lemon comes from an anime with gay smut called Cream Lemon. Is this true? And then the fanfic community took it and made it part of the fanfic lexicon. Huge if true. Because people talk about citrus scale. Y'all, we never agreed what this means. It means whatever you want it to mean. The only thing that's firm is that if it's lemon, then they're fucking. Alright? This is a good thing to look up on my phone. Ah, I see. I don't want fandom.com. Wikipedia. It has a Wikipedia. Is an early hentai series. The first Cream Lemon OVA was released in August 19... This is literally August 1984. Though Cream Lemon was not the first hentai OVA. The first was Lolita anime. Okay. Galbraith? Was by far the longest running and most influential hentai series in the 1980s and laid the foundation for pornographic animation in Japan. Good for them? It's not that I didn't believe you, it's just that I didn't know, so I could neither confirm nor deny. That is a lot. Okay, but what's the plot? This Sailor Moon ass font is kind of taking me out. You should trust everything I say without a doubt from here on out. Oh my god, I love accepting things uncritically. Collection of sometimes surreal stories having different settings and situations, with different genres including fantasy, comedy, suspense, sci-fi, horror, action, drama, mecha, magical girl, horror, and mystery. It sounds like they do everything. The overriding theme of the series is sex, of almost any kind imaginable. What a line to read on Wikipedia. Most chapters stand alone as separate titles having no relation to any other stories within the Cream Lemon series. The main recurring character is Ami Nonomura, who has an incestuous relationship with her stepbrother Hiroshi. I see. Often focuses on unrealistic and exaggerated sexual themes. I see. Oh, it gets worse. I see. Interesting. I mean, they did say of almost any kind imaginable, and... You know, I'm trying not to imagine. Okay, but then why has it been adopted for the gays and not for other? Unless it has. But to my knowledge, it hasn't. Just the term of lemon. My throat hurts. Me talk too much. Ah. Oh, wait. I didn't realize we hit 4,300. Whatever. I'll go to 4,400 and then I'll stop. Yes, agree. Daisy, offer me emotional support in these growlithless times. That doesn't really work. Whatever. That would have been prime opportunity for me to get a shiny that I would run away from while I was reading Wikipedia. I could be a video slop essayist. No, that's not slop. But what would you even call it? Someone who's just churning out low effort content that isn't AI generated? I don't know. Slop isn't AI. See, in my experience, most often these days, it's, oh, this is AI slop. Because we're not respecting AI as art, because it isn't. Therefore, everything created by AI is slop. Yes? Okay. Ow. Hurt. Something can be slop without it being AI. Slop is more used to signify it's something made quickly to leech off of a genre. Yeah, see, that's fair. But in my brain, I'm like, well, if... There's a slight difference than if someone typed in a prompt to get something versus you had to actually, I don't know, read out a script. Even if the script is just Wikipedia. It's still low effort garbage. AI is naturally slop because everything made with AI is done quickly and with bad quality. Yes, yes. So it's a rectangle square situation. Not every slop is AI, but every AI is slop. Or every AI creation. But dare I say, I have a slight, near indistinguishable, no, it's like a millimeter more respect for people who don't use AI but still churn out garbage. SlopTuber churns out garbage the old-fashioned way. At least you're doing something. If you make a YouTube essay of something where you only read the Wikipedia, then that's slop. See, that's natural stupidity right there. You and I #read. I love Wikipedia. I actually don't know how common that is, though, because I don't branch out. I don't trust people. I find too many thumbnails to be extremely obnoxious, and they give me bad vibes. And then on the off chance it's a topic that I'm somewhat interested in regardless, and then I get tripped up immediately. Like, I'm so sorry, I just wanted to hear about what happened to the Super Size Me guy. And I didn't want to hear the speaker talking at me using gay as an insult in the Big 25. I can't be that interested in the topic. I'm zooming through these encounters. I've almost gotten my average up to 211 encounters an hour. I am perhaps cautiously optimistic that I'll get... If not tonight, I should get a shiny within the next couple of days. Yippee! And then I look at the calendar and I'm like, what do you mean it's at the... We're almost at the end of May. Y'all! I'm getting surgery in like 2 weeks. What do you mean I have 2 weeks until it's June? Very common. The video essay community is full of slop. It's full of video games of X game where it only explains the game as it's happening, or X Trend where they only talk about the TikTok videos they've seen and some BS about it. Oh my god. See, but I feel like if it's something that's on TikTok, I just don't even care about it anyways. Because it's about people that I've never heard about complaining about things that I've never heard about, and it's like, okay. I'm not saying you're making up problems, but that's definitely what it sounds like to me. I also feel terribly skeptical when people talk about games because post-Gamergate, I'm like, all right. Do you actually have something to say, or do you just hate le woke? And le woke is when woman. So I don't want to hear what people have to say. Well, it's not that I don't want to hear it. I don't trust what most people have to say. Sorry, I wanted to check something and I forgot I was on the Wikipedia page and I accidentally read a little farther. How do y'all come up with all these ideas? As a video essay enjoyer and, if I say it myself, a connoisseur, there are little to no video essays nowadays with something to say, and a lot of slop that are just summary of things with a monotone voice and some colorful light. I have no idea why I struggle to read that. See, I'm like, I'm not a connoisseur. to use your words. So I'm like, I feel like I don't see this terribly often, if only because that's not the space that I'm in. But I definitely do see it being like, I don't know, the new trend, the new fad for getting easy views to make essays, but you're not good at writing essays, so you fake that you can write an essay. Whereas, like, I don't know, a few years ago, it was reading shit off of Reddit. Which, you know, thankfully, I think that that trend is mostly gone. They would go next to a long cell of people. Oh my god. People who say a movie's bad because it's long. Movie is bad because it has woman. The trend that I need to stop is... No, actually, I have no idea what I was about to say. Oh, wait, it's I promise X is interesting. And I think I finally nailed down why that annoys me so much. It's because it comes off as you're insecure about the premise of the thing that you're making. Pleading to your audience to be like, please, please, please interact with this thing. I promise it's interesting. I promise. And it's like, it does have an interesting premise, but because you're not sure about it, I don't want to see it. Because oftentimes it is something that sounds interesting. Like, oh, how a blink cycle of something impacts something deep in the code. It'd be like, oh yeah, that seems weird. What do you have to say about that? I promise it's interesting. Okay. And if that's the sense, just do a video watching TikToks trend. There's a big community of people who do that. Curtis Connor, Chad, and not so much nowadays, but Danny Gonzalez. And I'm like laughing in the corner. I don't I don't really know who Chad is, but I've thought Curtis Connor was unfunny for years. He is so unfunny. He doesn't know when to stop a bit. That's why I stopped watching people like that. It's like, you're just a react channel. You're reacting to things and you're not funny, I fear. I'm okay. And then you have a bunch of people who are very similar, saying similar things, making similar topics, and I'm like, I don't care what you have to say, actually. It isn't bad to make a video of something you're interested in. It's bad to leech on a form of art you have no idea how to do. Yeah, do something bad, but just do it bad confidently. You can write a bad thing. You can make a bad video. It's just the grift that's annoying. Stop trying to grift. They're taking the genre out back. They're taking it behind the shed. I can't do anything more than play a quick one before the giant worm eats Connecticut. Why is a giant worm eating Connecticut? Oh, I thought Alaska had the big worms. And then because there's so many things that... I'm not gonna say polluting the genre, but, you know, take it as you will. It gets harder to sift through for stuff that you actually want to see because there's so much garbage. I don't know, ask the giant worm. Also, I may have written the name of the song wrong. There was a song? Look it up. Giant worm eating Connecticut. Okay, well, also an ad break will start soon. Giant worm eats Connecticut. I can't spell Connecticut. Connecticut. Fake ass name. Song. Is it real? Well, I see a quick one before the eternal worm devours Connecticut. So I feel like that's what you're talking about. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Is a bit generic sad? I don't remember if it's a part of everyone at the end of time. I don't know. It sounds like they say, I don't know. If it isn't, it takes inspiration. Okay, it's on Know Your Meme. 3 years ago. Thank you. Thank you that the first image is of the Alaskan bullworm. From SpongeBob. Everywhere at the End of Time. A series of memes based on an image artist. They're based on an image by artist Trevor Henderson of a giant worm crawling over a highway captioned, "Nah, the eternal worm came back for Connecticut." Skull emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji. A concept album that follows the experience of having dementia. Okay, so definitely not about the meme of the worm eating Connecticut. Although unconfirmed, the caption is likely a reference to the Have a Nice Life song, a quick one before the eternal worm devours Connecticut. Makes sense. And look, you can't say that I didn't mention that there would be ads. But while there are ads, I can read more about what this fucking hentai is. Many others are similarly surreal. Okay, what's the reception? Nothing. 1, 2, 3. How many are there? A lot. A lot. There's a lot. Oh my god, there's so many. Do I really need to know this information? You know what? It is decently interesting trivia, so it's fine. I've successfully stalled out 1.5 minutes. My neck. We're getting to the last few encounters, which is why I might be dragging my feet. I mean, I will just find the shiny right now, and it'll be funny because I'm in ads. Ah. This is my shot. Wait, fuck. I have to do laundry. I totally forgot. I have to hang up my stupid hoodie. Because it can't be put in the dryer. Burb. Oh yeah, wait. I don't think I ever even mentioned the percentages on this route. Other than Growlithe being 20. I think both Meowth and Pidgey are 10%. Wait, Pidgey 40. Meowth is 30. Growlithe is 20. Ekans is 10%? I don't know. Ads are over. Welcome back. You didn't miss much. Other than the meme of the worm eating Connecticut is perhaps based off of the song. But the connection may be minimal. And also 10 more encounters. Yippee! But it doesn't matter if I just get the shiny now, right? Right? We're also approaching the 50-50, the 5,000-ish range of there's about a 50% chance I would have seen it already. It sounds like the song came before the meme. Oh yeah, no, the song did become this. Look, I just read the Know Your Meme, which could be inaccurate, but the song existed before the meme. They implied that the meme may be somewhat in reference to the song. Later it got less articulate I become. Not like I'm particularly articulate when I'm talking off the dome regardless, but it gets worse. So much Miku posting. Five more. Growlithe. I do think it's a little silly where I put Daisy on the screen because it blocks off part of the thing scrolling across the screen, so I can't see if it's shiny immediately. It's a good song, bit generic, but we can look past that. It isn't like songs from... It isn't like the songs from Take Care of Similar something. I kind of hate them, but also have all their albums downloaded. At what point does hate listening just become normal listening? And they're just an artist that you listen to? At what point? Alright, last encounter. And it's a normal Pidgey. Okay, so if I end a message with, or it's a laugh. Okay, see, no, I've... is not a laughing one that I've seen before. But good to know. Okay, well, that's gonna be the last encounter for me. I'm getting quite tired, so I'll just say goodnight to you. Go to bed if it's your bedtime. Or if it's late and you just need to go to bed. Anything can be a laugh if you don't respect letters. That is true. But if I've not seen it before, then I might not immediately recognize it as a laugh. So, sorry. It's like 2 a.m. over here. Go to bed. And by go to bed, I mean I might do a 10 pull on Genshin. Hee hee. Tee hee. I should have been sleeping for at least 3 hours. Well, you can still go to bed now. Can't make up for lost sleep. You can only get future sleep by going to sleep now. Okay, true? Yes. Anyways, we'll continue this on Thursday. Why did I say it like that? On Thursday. Unless I have gotten it on Wednesday. Too late, sunk cost fallacy, I'll never sleep again. Okay, but you call it a fallacy, so you know that it's not true, so you know that you can still get some sleep and feel better than if you had gotten no sleep. True? Yes. Okay. Agree. Yeah, I got nothing else. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.